accountable care. They help us. They're our boots on the ground. They pull data out of the clinical systems and help us with our yearly submission for audits. So for the ACO to run successfully, we thought about the different data elements that we needed. And really all that we're given is claims data. Claims data often has a few months lag time, so you don't have all the information that you need. And then of course you don't have all the clinical information in the claims files that is necessary to really understand your populations. So the different things that we thought would be important was pharmacy claims, EHR claims, lab claims. I have a box for assessments there. That would be other information that care coordinators might enter and collect on the patients. And what we did was we decided to put all this information into one data warehouse with HEC's data warehouse is where it goes. From there, the information is pushed out into usable places like care plans. We use it for audit, the patient rosters, and all their different tool sets. So I had to take a deep breath for this one. So data integration, this is a huge challenge. Reason being is that we have 6 hospitals with Central State, a 7th. We have different systems throughout for our lab systems, our registration systems. We're all using Cerner CIS, but that system's different than our outpatient system. Our Barnabas employed providers are using Cerner. We have other practices in our ACO that aren't on Cerner. They might not even be on the EHR, they might be on paper. So we have data in multiple places. We have Central State who's using NextGen. So pulling all this data together into one data repository was a lot of work, a lot of validation. So additional challenges that we faced really was from the first initial start is the CMS member rosters. CMS gives you a list of your patients. They don't give you all of the information that you need on this patient. They really give you like their insurance ID, their first name, their last name, date of birth. There's no address, no phone number, no master index number that we can query our systems and match these patients on. If you're pulling lab data from your LIS systems, you might not have insurance number there. So we had to establish these numbers to pull data and aggregate it from multiple sources. So that's my second bullet, is really establishing the unique patient IDs. And then what's the matching algorithm and how are you going to match these patients? System querying and filtering, pulling data out of systems. How are you going to pull out the ACO patients out of the systems? They're not identified in your clinical systems. You're pulling full files. Maybe you can pull off of insurance ID if the system has insurance ID, but maybe your insurance ID isn't stored in that system. So that was a challenge for us. This, I think I've heard through the conference multiple times, that the EHR data is not stored in structured fields. Providers free text a lot of information. Information that's in claims is there and that's structured, but things like follow-up plans, falls risk, you know, some of the EHRs didn't have falls risk assessments. That's an ACO metric. So pulling that data, we just needed to educate and make sure we had the right places to pull the data from. Another challenge is that the EHRs may have had the data in multiple places. So for example, a lot of times you'll find that they have places to store smoking, and they have 3 places they could put smoking. Maybe one of them count for meaningful use, making sure that we're pulling it from the right place. And then lastly, vendor participation, and I hear that as an ongoing thing in the tracks as well, is getting external vendors that aren't Cerner or NextGen to work with us to pull the data.